What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Dad's Dialogues, where we are striving to be the best dads we can be. In this day and age where I see a lot of content where dads are trying and giving it their all, I'm just here trying to give my experience, my understanding, what I've learned, what I'm learning, what phase am I in as a dad. And right now, we are 27. This is about to be episode 27. And today we are, as you can tell by the title, talking about the guilt kind of we feel as a dad. Not kind of, like it really sets on you the more and more you get into being a dad. And so before we get into all that, I have a 22-month-old baby now. I don't even know where the time has gone because it was in 2023 she was born, and now all of a sudden we're like prepping for her to be 2. And I'm like, I mean, she says full sentences. She clearly talks like what she wants. You give her food and she's like, I don't want it. And I'm like, okay, Madam Miss, who are you? You were just not saying anything, and now she can talk. And Dad, read it. And I'm like, yes, ma'am. Okay, right on it. So life is an insane roller coaster. Time freaking flies. Every blink, I feel like, is 2 days gone. I'm like, what did we do yesterday? What happened? And so, man, time is flying. It's a little bit about me, but today we're getting into dad guilt. And right before we get into that, Nia's Corner, which is the name of my baby, just a beautiful little amazing baby girl. The other day she comes back from school, and so she's going to school now, daycare, but it's a school. And so she comes back, and at nighttime, so this is a new thing that she does, is during bedtime, she basically starts saying everything she started learning and remembering. I don't know if it's like a time for her to just like sort out everything in her mind, or if she doesn't want to sleep. Because it's funny, because usually during bedtime she's like, Nia, sleep. And I'm like, yes, it's time to sleep. She's like, pat me. And I'm like, okay, I will. But then she starts talking a lot, and so anyways, one night she just started singing, and I'm like, what is she saying? And I actually posted a video on my Instagram where she started singing Jesus loves me, yes I know. But like at first I didn't get it. And she said it again. And obviously, mind you, she is 22 months, so she's not like saying Jesus loves me. She's like, yeah, love me, I know. Something like that. And I was like, huh? So she said it a third time. And then on the third time, I hear, Jesus. And so I said, for the Bible. And then she says, tells me so. My face literally in the video was like, she knows songs now, right? She can sing that song, Twinkle, Twinkle. She knows that whole song. I don't know what this song is, but no more monkeys jumping on the bed. She knows a bunch of Miss Rachel songs because that's what we listen to in the car when she's fussy. So she doesn't really watch Miss Rachel. She more listens to Miss Rachel, all her music and what. But yeah, so basically the Nia's Corner is that, like, all of a sudden now she gets song and she can sing along. She knows timing and rhythm. I'm like, who are you? Because me and your wife, me and your mom, my wife, have not mastered that yet. So like, who are you? Anyways, that is. She's just going up to. I think about it, and she just went to sleep, and so, I just be thinking about, like, man, how can I maximize my time? How can I, be there for these amazing moments, these fun moments? And so this is where I can kind of kick off the conversation of, dad guilt, right? I am not teaching her these songs, obviously. She is in school learning these songs. She might be learning these songs from a friend, like, if we're at somebody's house, my parents' house. She's learning so much outside of this house, and it's like, man, not that I know not all the time I can be with her and teach her and whatever. I know that, but like, it's gotten to the point where she is learning way more. Like, I am hearing what she's learning way more than I'm able to teach her, right? And so that becomes like not a great feeling. You just kind of want to be there for all those moments and teach her these things and be like, wow, like, and I don't know, the excitement of like the back and forth of her starting to understand and then me be like getting excited. It just, every day she literally comes home every day and has something new learned, right? Like it's not at this point it's not surprising anymore, but it's just like I want to learn, I want to be there and I teach and whatever. And so that's it's really coming in hard lately because she is so smart and she's grasping everything so quick. But then sometimes now, I mentioned it in my recent pod, but like feeling a bit like we're in a matrix of, all day we have work, and then from like 5:30 to 7:30ish if we push bedtime is our only time with Nia. Right? So now it's a guilt of like I'm not spending enough quality time with Nia. And like I mentioned like the first month that she was in school, we didn't do anything. Literally 5 to 7 every day, we were just hanging out. We even tried to leave work early just so we can go pick her up a little bit earlier and hang out with her. And then, slowly, life kind of comes back and we start hanging out with people and, we have friends. So we obviously hang, maybe Happy one evening is hanging out with her friend and she's like, man, that means that whole day she doesn't gets no Nia time. And then same vice versa, for me, if I go hoop or something, that means that whole night or whatever, I'm not hanging out with Nia. So then you start thinking like, man, I'm not spending enough time with her. These are very foundational years. I want to make sure that that foundation is very solid, that our relationship has a really solid place to like thrive in the later years. And so you don't like, there's studies, there's research that, will tell you how much time, how much, what you should be doing as a new parent, which is what I still think I am, to kind of have that formative and strong foundation for the later years. But then you never feel as though you're really, getting all that adequate time. And so, yeah, time has just been something, we feel like you lose. The time just be slipping. And with school and work and all this and, big news drop, we're also moving in a little bit. Like that's also going to play a major factor in like how much time I get to spend with Nia. Like just the busyness of everything is something that's very dangerous. Just getting so busy with things and which I think I might not be as busy moving because we don't have as big of a community where we're going in Atlanta than we have here in Nashville. But it's just, it's a guilt. And, I'm already 8 minutes in and I haven't said what the whole point is. I'm going to talk about the places I'm feeling guilt. And I'm also going to talk about like kind of what are things that help mend, my guilt. How can I attack my guilt with, not feeling bad all the time. But, another guilt thing that I feel is, since I started posting content on my Instagram and TikTok a little bit, but you start getting content that you post. So I'm a dad content creator, I guess. And so I now receive a lot of dad content on my feed. And inevitable, right? This is what social media is kind of doing to us a lot is you start comparing. Like there's this one dad that I wish he is just a beast. I don't even know what his Instagram is, like Dad Social or something. And he basically, it looks like, and now obviously you don't know what's behind the scenes, but it looks like every day he has this big, crazy, grand adventure / creative project that he does for his two little girls. And I'm like, dude, like he is doing it, right? Like he is the best dad ever because he's just like, the one specific one I can remember is like he built like his own at home, like not amusement park, but like one like slide or something. And I was like, dude, I know the girls come back every day excited to see their dad, excited to see their family and, hang out. And, so to take a step back, like the guilt of like comparing and, seeing what other people do and thinking, man, I'm just not doing enough, right? I'm just like, I need to do more. But then I'm just mentioned, then you come back to like, man, I don't have enough time. What can I do? I'm working all day. Then I come back and, I never say I'm gonna be tired for Nia, right? Like I'll sleep a couple hours at night and still like if she wakes up late at night or if, I go all day, rough work day, I will stop my work latest 5:30. So I have that time with Nia. But you just think, can I have more? Can I have more? Do I need to stay up? Do I need to do this? Like, I even had a thought of like, do we start pushing her bedtime? Like, can we make it 8:30 so that we can hang out with her a little bit more, do something more grand? I don't know, just do something more grand maybe. But yeah, that's just it's a kind of a new thing since I really started posting on Instagram. Like my feed is just all family stuff, and so it's impossible not to just look and be like, dang, they are doing a lot. Here's a new thing that I've felt a lot of guilt about is finances, money. My wife has always been making more money than me. I mean, everybody, my community knows that she's a beast, right? She is a monster, and I never felt anything about it, right? Like maybe some people would say like, oh, the men should make more. She is just a mauler. Like she chose the right career path. She's making a lot of money, and I'm doing well. I'm not doing bad, but she just makes more. But it's not about the guilt. Is not like, oh, I should be making more. It's now like I should be providing, and I never thought that until like Nia got to like 1 years old, and then seeing the bond that my wife and baby created felt natural in a sense of like, man, like, because she even talked about like, if I could, I would stay home and be with Nia all day and homeschool and do this and that. And like you hear that and you're like, can't do that financially, cannot do that, impossible. I mean, maybe we sell the house or do this and that, like we would be squeezing a lot more than we are now. But I guess I wouldn't say impossible, it's just not right now in our cards, right? And so things like that, you just feel like I wish I could do more. I wish I had the $100 million business idea. I wish, there's something I can do to generate more, to have more time with my kids, and then, or my kid, and then also let my wife not work. That wish. And so another really important guilt that I have lately is being very intentional of dating my wife continuously. So I'm not very creative in a sense of like, I don't think outside the box. Like I could do the same thing every day and be very content. Like if I'm working out, hanging out with my baby and my friends, doing work, like I could just do that on repeat. I don't think like, okay, next vacation, okay, monthly date, where are we going? So I put it in my notes. I try to make sure I see it all the time. Like, okay, what can you do to date your wife today? And so that's just been something like I'm really a person of like out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. And not that my wife is out of my sight. It's just, you have like the duties of everyday life. Like I have work, which has been getting really busy. Obviously, we hang out with Nia. Then it's nighttime. I need probably lately what it's been is I've been logging back onto my work laptop and doing more work and then trying to sleep early because now lately we've been working out in the morning. Me and my wife will switch every day from, first, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, I go to the gym at like 5 a.m. The Wednesday and Friday, the other days and Saturday, my wife will go at, a little bit 6, 7 a.m. and she'll go to the gym. So with that, like, it just gets busy. These are things that like, I really do feel guilt on. Mention some things that help. Everybody's different. Not every dad feels the guilt that I feel. Not everything that kind of helps me is going to help everybody. But one thing, I think the most important thing is, and this is, as a husband, I guess you get to pick it, but like having a great partner heals a lot of it. We know each other's love languages, which is very important, right? My love language, my most important one is it's words of affirmation. So my wife says it a lot. Like, you're a fantastic dad. You're a great husband. You are awesome at doing this. Like, she gives me a lot of words, and it helps to battle and conquer like those self doubts and those guilts that I do feel, which leads into like communicating very well as well. When you're feeling these things, you've got to be able to mention it, because she can't read my mind, right? She can't just be like, oh, he is feeling like he's not a breadwinner or whatever. And, I need to let him know. And so I communicate that. One thing I think I'm pretty good at is communicating the feelings and the thoughts. And she's really good at reciprocating. Okay, like, I need to be intentional of like, giving him better like words that will counteract whatever the guilt or the shame, whatever it is. Another piece of a thing that's helping me is I know the time that I have with Nia is very quality. I'm very present, right? Lately, I've been trying to record a lot more. Doesn't mean I've had to battle with like, is recording meaning I'm not present, I'm not making genuine moments. But then I sometimes I watch the videos, I'm like, I'm so glad I recorded those moments. And so I know now, like, that hour and a half, 2 hours, those are super quality time. Like, that is, I'm very present. We're hanging out. We're doing what Nia wants to do. We're playing, bath, whatever it is, reading. Very, very intentional about every minute that we're hanging out, when we get to hang out, just the two of us or the three of us. And I know now, and going forward, basically, quality is going to be so important versus quantity, right? Quantity is almost not there anymore. Like, it used to be like we can just hang out all the time. She was laying down. She didn't care to do anything. She just laid, and we just laid together and have fun and read and let her do some textile feelings, whatever. Now it's like you have to be very intentional. She has wants, like, she's like, oh, see grandma, see cousin, whatever. She wants to see people, and she, doesn't care to just be with us all the time. And so when we're together, I know I'm very intentional. I'm very present with her. So quality over quantity at this point and going forward. Like, the more and I'm even thinking about it now, the more she grows up, we're going to start putting her into sports, and we're going to start doing these, and she's going to have events and whatever. And so then those events, that's not quality time. Like, that you're doing something together. But, I do hope to be like a coach of hers and whatnot too. So hopefully that does build a bond, but that's not quality time. That's just you're together. That's just, you're just adding up minutes together, but there's no quality behind like the time. If she's practicing, just because you took her to practice doesn't mean it's quality time. So that's, the more we go forward, the more we have to be, or I have to be, I know, more intentional about the quality of the time that I'm with her. This one is easy to say, hard to do. Stop comparing, right? Everybody's different. Every household has different needs. So Happy tells me that all the time. Like, hey, that is awesome that this dad can do this and that and whatever. But like, you are phenomenal in your own right. And so this also helps with like the financial aspect as well, because you can compare all you want. Some people do great financially. Some people are okay. And so having that thought of, okay, they're great. They're doing their thing. I'm doing my thing, not having to compare all the time. I mean, that is just a thief of joy. Comparison. Oh my gosh. It can take you into dark places you just don't need to be, want to be. So easy to say, I can say don't compare, but then I'm going to go and watch videos of other dads and I'm be like, oh, wow, they're so good to their kids and their wife and this and that. And so that is, and I actually use, sometimes I'm thinking like social media can be like a accountability partner to me. Like if I say, Woman Crush Wednesdays, and every Wednesday I post something to do something for my wife, which is something I'm thinking about. Oh, I don't think she'll listen to this episode. We'll see. But that's something that, can help me. So I like using social media for good, good, at least thought processes can try to use it to help myself. Sometimes when I think about it, guilt and shame, maybe not shame, but mostly guilt, when you reframe it, when I reframe it, and now maybe this is a stretch, but it's a sign of me caring, right? Like, I feel guilty that I can't spend more time with Nia. Doesn't mean that I'm bad. It means like I care. I want to have more time with her. I want to do this. Feeling guilty because I'm not doing as much to date my wife every day and do this and that doesn't mean I don't care. It just means I know it means I care. Like I am trying to care and I'm thinking about it. I'm like, okay, I need to do a better job of being intentional in dating my wife. I need to do a better job of being intentional, like not comparing other dads who I think are doing great. So reframing your guilt and saying, okay, like, yes, maybe I'm not the best, but like I am trying and I care. And so, yeah, lastly, just being intentional with your time, whether it's with your baby, with your wife, partner, whatever, being as intentional as possible in every moment so that when I go to sleep at night, I know that like had so much fun with Nia, had so much fun with my wife, whatever it is. And so I can go to sleep sound, feeling good, ready for the next day, even though I know time is so small and so fading and that, the world will come and make you busy and whatnot. But I know like when I'm with either my wife or my baby that I'm being very intentional and being present. And so dad guilt. I don't know how much of this makes sense. As I said, like this is for everybody feels guilt about different things, feel like you're not adequate in different places. And so this is what mine is and what is helping me. And if you're listening to this, that means you do care, right? You do care. You're trying to be a better dad. So that's awesome. This is episode 27. I appreciate you guys for listening this far in. Go ahead and like, subscribe, do all the things, and continue striving to be the best dad you can be. Peace out.